If you're moving from one platform to another or rebuilding an application, you have to migrate your data. And why is it so dang expensive to move that data? Well, there are three main reasons and a host of others, but let's cover the top three in this video. So the first one is that your data is inconsistent, it's incoherent. You've collected it over time, maybe in a variety of different systems, and you've changed the way that dates are recorded or times are recorded, or maybe you've changed from text to HTML. There could be a lot of reasons that your data is inconsistent. And when you start out your new system, you want it to be pristine, you want it to be clean, and you want it to be bespoke for the data structures that drive the value that's created by your new system. The second is that your new platform, if you're going from one platform to another one, is potentially inconsistent. It was designed differently. And so even if you have consistent data at the source, you've got a lot of data on the other end, and you've got to bridge that gap somehow. And the structures are just different because the requirements are different for your platform. So you have to be able to bridge that gap, and that can make things very expensive, especially if you're trying to do what we call a manual approach, where you're downloading data, uploading spreadsheets, etc. And the third one, which is the most common and the most expensive in my history, in my opinion, is changing objectives. So before you start your data migration, you really need to understand the final form that that data is going to be in. And if you cannot map that out and agree on it, both from the developer and from the project manager, that's going to cause a problem, because once you start migrating that data and once you start writing the scripts and using the tools and configuring them to move the data over, any sort of rework becomes very expensive. And so you want to minimize that rework, and you need to define what the data requirements are at the end. Hopefully you found this helpful, and appreciate you watching.